Yo, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. I am Army Piper, guys. Bitcoin getting a little rejection off that zone box that we talked about yesterday. We do have an area that I am watching for support right down here. That's going to be our support zone, but we're keeping an eye on it, keeping a close eye on it, guys. On the bubbles today. Let's bring those up. We do have a lot of red here, bringing in some doubt. It all comes off of some economic data that we got this morning. We're going to be looking at that economic data. What is it? Why do you need to know about it, and what happened to the markets? What can we expect today with FOMC day? Jay Powell going to be coming out, superstar of the finance world, telling us are our markets going up or down, guys? We're going to be looking at all this data, checking it out, seeing where you need to be watching, and we're giving you that in alpha today on the Piper Academy Morning Market Report. Let's get it, guys. Class is in session. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. Glad to have everybody here. If you're just joining us in the chat, this is the Morning Market Report. We bring you guys news, headlines, economic data, macroeconomic stuff, charts, TA, technical analysis, a little bit of fun, a little bit of hangouts, and of course, the best community in all of YouTube, the alumni right here. But I don't do it by myself. I got the man with the master plan. It's the OC guy. What's up, dude? How you doing, man?
Not much, doing pretty good. Today was an early day. Other than that, looking at Bitcoin, seems like it wants to kind of like a bounce on some lines in here. Nonetheless, I have a weird feeling about it. We'll see how it plays. But other than that, doing pretty fantastic. Pretty excited to see how we end up this week because of the pullback. But other than that, let's get it rolling. Let's see what we got.
I just want to remind people that we're talking about a pullback to $104,000. At the end of the day, I mean, come on, let's get real here, you know. But yeah, we could have a little bit of a further downside to go. It all depends today on how Jerome Powell speaks. I don't think it has anything to do with the numbers today. I think it's going to be on what he says that 30 minutes after those rates drop, right? After they put out that rate decision, that's when it's going to matter. But guys, if you're just joining us in the chat, good morning to everyone. Crypto Billion here, Donato Cabrera, username Harp, Alexander G, the best mod in the business. The mod queen is here with us. French Toaster said he's reporting for duty. Sir, man your battle stations. Let's go. We got Crypto Coin Mindset in here with us today. Who else we got in here? Did I miss anybody? Ninja Glock, Museum of Corruption. Man, I missed a Buck. We got Buck here. He's drinking coffee and eating crayons. Love you, Marine. Crypto Chef in here with us also, giving a good morning with the emojis of the graduation cap, the alumni cap. I love it. Let's go over and talk about the news, guys. Let's get into that so we can get into this data. Oh, Kyle Pills, he said, yo, I'm here too, bro. Don't forget me. I got you, bro. Let's go and let's talk about this news and get into this economic data. OC, we'll be right back with you, man. Guys, looking at the morning here on the market cap, I should say, we are at $3.8 trillion, down about 3% in the past 24 hours. Trade volume dropping 4% there. So in line, we're seeing the volume start to slow down a little bit, meaning that we could be looking at, you know, the selling pressure or the buying pressure. Usually when that slows down, one or the other is starting to slow down. Being that we just went down, could be indication that we're seeing the selling pressure start to slow down a little bit while they're waiting for that FOMC data today. Let's jump over here and talk about this Bitcoin dominance chart, the CMC Crypto Fear and Greed Index. We're sitting at 80. We're still in extreme greed despite the pullback. Bitcoin dominance right now says it's sitting at about 56.5. I think it actually might be a little bit higher than I think it's like closer to 58 now from when this came out. But we are seeing a pullback in the altcoin season, guys. It's now at 58 out of 100. That is because of the dominance coming back up. So it is slowing down. Alex, crypto in the house. What's up, my dog? Love seeing the gang here. Shout out to Otter. So we are seeing this slow down a little bit. The dominance has got to stop going up a little bit for us to go back into alt season. So we were in like 63, 64 earlier in the week. And last week, now we're sitting at 58 over 100. Let's jump into the crypto bubbles. Let's talk about this, guys. On the daily, you can see here, red. On the hourly, even more red. There's Crow, XRM, Wow, XMR, excuse me, Monero, getting a little bit of a move there, SWE up a little bit there. But looking overall on the daily, just a couple of green tokens on here. Let's go in and take a look. Bitcoin currently sitting at a little bit over $104,000 right now. On the list, can we give that a refresh? That might be a little bit different now. Nope, still 104. Okay, down 3.2% on the daily. Ethereum just lost that 4,000 again, guys. It's at 38.50, just under, shooting under there. Down 4.1%. XRP down 5.7. Pretty much everything dropped. I'm just going to go through here and look for big ones. 8.4% on Avalanche. That was a pretty big sell-off. Cardano 6.3. I mean, there's other ones that are worse. Tron's worse, obviously. Chainlink is down 3.7%, holding pretty decent, sitting at $27. 6.7% there on Polkadot, but HBAR, guys, it's up 2.8%. That's pretty, it's showing some resilience there. And then Uniswap, the decentralized exchange token here, guys, is moving back into the top 20. It's moved up one position, taking Pepe's spot away, and got pushed down. And then Near Protocol down 10.2. BitGet, wow, BitGet token, guys, up 13.7%. If you guys don't know what that is, if you have a BitGet account for trading, you can move your dust and stuff like that over the BitGet. The fees are much cheaper, and it's much more cost efficient to enter in and out of trade. So it's a native token. It's like Crow, which is Kronos on crypto.com. So moving up 4 positions, number 27, BitGet, doing a little bit of moving over there with that token. Let's jump in here and let's refresh this. Take a look how the stock market just opened. Stock market, Dow Jones up about 0.2%. That's it. S&P about 0.1% down. NASDAQ down 0.25% here. And it is... it's opening to the red today, guys. I mean, but the VIX is not too bad, which tells me that it's just a sell-off. There's some sell-off going on here. People kind of holding their breath. Nothing major going on with it. There's not a massive sell-off going. It's just people holding their breath to wait and see what happens. This just said the Russell 2K was up on that. That's weird. Let me refresh that and make sure the Russell 2K is not green. No, it's still red. Down 1.18%. So yeah, it's just sell off before the FOMC data today. What he says today is going to make a big difference. Why did we get the sell off this morning? I will tell you this. This morning when I started collecting all of my data, Dow Jones, S&P, NASDAQ, they were all green to the upside. What we are seeing the sell-off from is this data right here that came in this morning. Now, let's look at this and break it down line by line so that you guys can follow the excitement that came in first. Building permits was expected to be about 1.43 million on consensus and forecast. Previously was 1.41, so it was expected to be up. Actually came in at 1.5 million preliminary permits being submitted for building, okay? So a lot of people are getting ready. They're like, we intend to build, right? So that's a good number. Building permits month over month. Check this out. For November, these are preliminaries. Again, was expected to be up 1.3% after being down in October, came in at 6.1. Again, people, they're ready to build. That means economy growth, right? That means manufacturing, fabrication, production, construction, all these things starting to show some signs of strength, right? And then we get this current account here. Guys, this is the bad one. This is what sold everything off this morning. And that is the balance of, it's not the balance of trade, but it has to do with the deficit of how much we spend versus what went out and came in for money, right? We were expected to be down about 278 billion, right? Previously, we were down 275 billion. That's a revised number. Came in down 310 billion. Let's go ahead and jump in here and I'll show you guys what this is. So this data, current account is the sum of the balance of trade, exports minus imports of goods and services, the net factor income such as interest and dividends, and the net transfer payments such as foreign aid, right? So when you see all that money go over to Ukraine, this has to do with this, okay? The United States recorded a record high current account deficit of $310.9 billion in the third quarter of 2024, widening from the revised $275 billion in the previous period and exceeding market expectations of the $284 billion gap. Just put this on a 10-year. You guys can see this is the lowest ever that we've had this. It's not good. It's not good at all. When people talk about that, I saw a post on Facebook or something the other day, or maybe it was X. I don't know, and it said, "Just remember, Trump is getting one of the strongest economies ever." No, no, I think Trump is actually getting one of the worst economies we've had in many decades, hidden in the shadows of smoke and mirrors that this current administration has done. So let's set the record straight. He's not getting the strongest economy. He's getting something that looks strong, but as soon as you step on that paper mache bridge, your butt's going down, and that's what we got. So the numbers don't lie. I don't care what your opinion is. You can post it wherever you want to post your opinion about it, but the numbers don't lie. And I'm going to listen to the numbers before I listen to some, ignorant fool that don't know their butt from a hole in the ground when it comes to economics. So there you go, guys. $310 billion deficit there on the current account. Now we did have some undershooting here on housing starts, month over month, so on and so forth. Was expected to be 1.34 million, and now it's looking like it's 1.28 million is actually how many got started, even though we had high inputs preliminaries. Hey, we intend to build the ones that actually broke ground, slowing down a little bit there for November. And why is that? Because I think that they know, why would I start building a house? I intend to build. It's there. Why would I start building a house when there may be a little bit of regulatory policy change coming with the new administration in January? I think a lot of people are just going to hold off and wait and see how that regulation and policy changes come January 20th. That's what I think is going to happen there. And then we can go ahead and start building once we have a whole lot less red tape to get through. And I think that's what's happening there. And then, of course, guys, today, 12 p.m. my time, 2 p.m. on the East Coast, we're going to have the FOMC Fed interest rate decision and the Fed press conference going to be taking place 30 minutes later. That's going to be at 2:30. Keep in mind, tonight, 8 p.m. our time, this is our time tonight. Yes, sound off. Bank of Japan interest rate decision. They're expected to pause. That's going to take place later tonight, and that will push that down the road of the second half of the Japanese carry trade taking effect. So that's good. Hopefully that comes in just like that. And hopefully our Fed interest rate does come in with a 0.25, because I'm going to go ahead and jump over to here real fast, and then we'll go to 2cam. 98.8% likelihood right now of a rate cut today. And why does that matter? Because it's going to say, hey, I know you got all of this data that came in. Things are looking bad, right? And the market's pulled back. Man, I got like glitter or something on my eye. Is that a strip club last night? No, it's a Christmas decoration. I'm just joking. You got all this data that came in and pulled the markets down. So I think him coming out and going, look, we're cutting rates. Everything's good. We're on a normal path, guys. The path we told you, still strong, still good. That will rally some people back into the markets, I do believe. So right now, a little bit of sell-off, but we seem to have hit some support zones, or at least some pauses on that selling pressure. So OC, your thoughts on any of the data today? Any of the data?
So, data wise, I mean, it's going to be what it is going to be, right? I'm not going to be trying to guess it too much. I'm just going to be just expecting things. Smart money always move first, right? So, we see a little bit of a pullback down here. Again, we did have pretty similar analysis yesterday. You were looking, well, I drew a line at, let me see it, 103. You were looking at 104. You also call the what was it, the 100K right line, and I'm looking at a 99 700 stuff. So I mean, it's pretty similar stuff, right? So what I think is going to happen is that I agree with what you're saying. Like if they keep cutting rates, even if there's just a little bit, we're going to be seeing that narrative playing out, right? And we've been calling that. So despite we see everything is it like about to fall of the edge, well then you just keep, or they just keep pushing the narrative, and since as long as they keep doing that, we're just going to be following narrative. Why? Because that's what immediately is going to be affecting the price action. until that breaks. So I think just being a little cautious at this point, maybe not taking a trade right away, not financial advice. Based on what I'm going to be doing, I will be waiting for the flip of the ribbon at support either right now or at 100K or 98K, something around those areas.
Let's go ahead and jump
But
into those charts.
yeah,
Let's go ahead and jump into them. We'll just talk about them with some visuals here. But shout out to everybody that's joining us in the chat. If you guys are just coming in, don't forget to smash that like button. Help out the algorithm. Help us out a ton. We're trying to grow it here, guys. We just hit a whole nother level. I'm not even sure what it is now. Like we broke, I think it's over 6,600 or 60. I don't know where we are. We're just gaining numbers, guys. So smash that like, and share it out with a friend because sharing is caring. Let's go jump into this Bitcoin chart. Let's talk about that, guys. We did get a rejection here yesterday right off of that zone that I said we needed to hold. This is that box. And I said, guys, it's the 1.382, 106, 493. If we hold this, we're going to be good. For a long time yesterday, we held that level. I'll bring this in and you'll see candle closes in that level. Did pretty decent. They held there for as long as they could. It was a valiant effort. I'll give them an A for effort. Once we lost that though, guys, we started to come down. We did hit here on a little liquidity grab past this previous little zone. And if we bring this in down to an hour, you'll see that was a nice little. We had a pullback and then it came up. We came down just below that wick, grabbing that liquidity there. Market makers, man. That's what they do. That's what they do. We are starting to get a zero line bounce here on the oscillator pro down at the bottom. You can see here it's starting to look like it may curve up. Money volume is coming down, but money flow. How's money flow? Money flow is curving up. So I would say that right now we do have the potential with some good FOMC news today to hold this zone and then take off to the upside. But if we lose that area, what am I watching for, guys? Two levels. One is going to be the value area high right here. This is based on these fixed range volume profiles. Big volume node, right? That middle one there, that is going to be the point of control, and it's running right across to my support zone. So if we do not catch on a downside movement, the value area high, and we lose it, typically if you lose the value area high, where do you go? Right there. That is going to be your point of control. That's why we have a support zone here. Of course, if we come back up again to that upper resistance zone, guys, keep in mind, we do have a lot of resistance up here, and we could come to the top range on that, grab that liquidity, and pull back down. That's why that's a red zone. Sitting a little bit higher than what this wick is. So we do have a little bit of a liquidity grab up there that could take place. So that's what I'm watching right now on Bitcoin. Let's kick it over to UAC and let's see what you're seeing, OC.
Absolutely. Pretty similar areas here. This is the same line that I was looking at yesterday. Previous highs in here, acting as a support. Also just bringing up my my indicators here that we can see previous weekly high. We actually broke it, so it's going to be a breakout to a retest. And here's what I think we might have a little bit more of downside, right? Especially since we are seeing this movement before the FOMC meeting. So as I was mentioning, I think smart money move first and then the market follows because they might be expecting maybe not such great news, but also, I mean, we would have seen a higher movement downwards if we were expecting bad news, right? So I think kind of like it's a mixed bag at this point. So the next area I'm going to be looking at, it is right here, 99,768. This is the next area that I have my eyes on. I know Piper is looking a little bit lower here to the previous area that we both had here in the, well, it was kind of like the same, right? From before. But other than that, I think we need to wait. For me, I'm not going to be trading the FOMC meeting. I will be trading the post reaction because we could have like something like a bouncing here, then effectively create a little bit of a higher low. And I will be talking about this on the 15 minutes because this is why I think that we can grab some pretty good entries. And at that movement in here, like fast candles, maybe then going back down, right? Let's go back to the 4 hour here. And the next area of entry, if things are going not great, for me, it's going to be 99,600, 99,700. But I will absolutely I will be waiting for the flip of the ribbon either there or right here, right around these areas. Other than that, I think that we need to hold ultimately this area right here that Piper has shown, and that is because that is the next most important range that we have previously between this golden line and this blue line. If we don't hold this, even if we go back down here and we don't break back again fast, I think this month could be a little bit tricky, to say the least. Still, again, guys, I'm bullish on Bitcoin. This is going to be plan C in case we don't have an entry here or an entry right down here. Other than that, turning it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Let's go jump in, OC, and let's take a look at this article here. We got a news article here I want to talk about. Bitcoin price still mirroring bullish move from 2023. What to expect after hitting $108,000 all-time high? What's next as Bitcoin price mirrors the 2023 move? And an X-Post charting guy revealed that Bitcoin price is still following the 2023 price line. Analysts predicted that the flagship crypto could hit 110,000 to 120,000 on this leg up, with the surge expected to happen later this week or early next week. So he's talking, the rest of this week right now that we have going on, possibly. And I got a little black mark. There we go. Let's bring that off there. Bitcoin looks to already be on its way to this price target, having recently hit $108,000 despite a little pullback. And you can see here, he's showing, the move up and the projection of where it could go based on fractals. He's using fractals. Charting guy also predicted that the Bitcoin price would tap the resistance on the daily relative strength index, the RSI, forming a triple bearish divergence, marking a slight local top for the flagship crypto. Once that happens, the analyst believes that Bitcoin will consolidate between 105 and 115 for a few weeks. So, I don't know. I use fractals sometimes to talk about stuff, but in general, I don't think that fractals give you a solid prediction price. I think they give you possibilities, but I don't think they give you probabilities. Your thoughts, OC? What do you think about that price level? Do you think we're going to hit 115 in the next week or so, based just on fractals, or are you seeing something in your chart that gives you a better feeling of 115 without using old data? That's really what it is.
Yeah, not much. I mean, we need to use all that to predict new data. I mean, other than that, I would say that, well, and I'm not pretending to be mean or anything, it's just guessing, right? Or speculating out of blue. Because I mean, how could you maybe predict that just based on, well, even if you don't have all data and you're looking something like FIBs, or you're looking at something like predictive ranges, or if you're looking at something like Wyckoff structures or something else, or even Elliott waves, everything comes from back data. So just having, for example, with Elliott waves without having a back structure, it will be just guessing, because you could be at any point on that Elliott wave, right? So other than that, do I see that being hit this week? If we reverse today, absolutely, I do see it. If we do not reverse today, I'll say it hardly.
I'm going to bring my camera up here a little bit. There we go. Let's get you guys more in line there. That's much better. It's much better. There we go. Cool. Is that better? Is that better? I think it is. No, that's a little bit too low. Yeah, I think that's the case too. I think we got to really see a reversal though. It's going to depend a lot on what we hear today from Jerome Powell, in my opinion. But one thing I do want to bring up, heroes in the business here. Guys, tomorrow morning, Crypto Billy will be joining as a guest here on the show, and he's going to be talking about, his thoughts on the current market and sentiment and so on and so forth. But more importantly, he's going to talk about the NFT project that is getting ready to be done minting soon. Yeah, I was blowing you kisses. There you go. It's a new year. It's a new year for me. I've made it another year around the planet yesterday, so I got Got to try out new stuff. But we are going to have him on as a guest. We're going to be talking about the Billy Goat Tales NFT book, guys. And if you guys aren't tracking that at all, let me jump over here and just show you guys what it is. It's this NFT series of all of season 1 of the Billy Goat Tales X Spaces. There's 10 NFT books, 30 chapters of content. You can just go in here and you can read the entire book, guys. It's a lot of books. 4 classes of rarity, the class 4 lowest rarity, class 1 highest rarity. So there are different rarities there in the books themselves. And 170 speakers in total, guys, that are in this thing. You guys got to check it out. Cover 1, cover 10. We are giving away here on Piper Academy the entire 1 through 10 set, guys. So you don't have to go in there and mint 10 books and hope that you get 1, 2, 7, 9, or whatever it is. Remember, there's only 60 books of book 9, which means there's only 60 complete sets that anyone's going to have. We're giving away a complete set right here on Piper Academy, and we're going to include an Easter egg in one. So you're going to get an Easter egg and all 10 books. All you got to do, be a member. You can either be a YouTube member just by clicking join down below. And that will give you 1 entry. Or if you are in our Discord VIP or upperclassmen, you can put in one over there. And if you do that, then you will get the ability to have 2. And if you're both, then you get 3 entries. So we're going to be doing that in January. But one of our members, winning an amazing setup. So we're going to have Billy on tomorrow talking about that. So, OC, let's talk about Ethereum, bro. You can go ahead and pull up the chart. I'm going to go over this article and let's talk about that. Guys, Ethereum sees net outflows on spot exchanges is a major rally coming to Ethereum. Let's go down here and take a look. As Ethereum attempts to rally alongside Bitcoin, the asset appears to have been spotlighted as analysts assess its fundamentals to grasp what is going on behind the scenes. Key factor influencing ETH price so far, according to the latest analysis, is its relationship between net inflows on spot exchanges and investor behavior. Net inflows measures the balance between how much Ethereum is going on and off exchanges, just so you guys know. And then the net outflow and conditions for Ethereum price growth. Notably, net outflows typically signal bullish sentiment as investors transfer their ETH to cold wallets, reducing selling pressure on the market. When we take this off here, I can't sell it, right? According to crypto quant analyst AAVE, these patterns in Ethereum net flow data have played a notable role in past cycles. And you can see when you had these big spikes of how much was on the exchange net flow total and then the net flow total to the green. So putting it on and off. Big moves in the market every time that has happened. We just had another one there. For example, early 2022, Ethereum's price dropped from $4,000 to $1,000. Net inflows were dominant and indicating heightened selling activity. However, that trend reversed in July 2022 when the net outflows supporting Ethereum's went the other way and a gradual price recovery. So right now we are seeing a major move on those net flows. Are we about to see a big pump on Ethereum? OC, what do you got on your chart for Ethereum? Let's take a look at that, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about ETH in this cycle, what your calls are for that. So heading your way.
Absolutely. So first of all, let me tell you guys that this also is going to be depending on Bitcoin and FOMC, right? At the end of it all, Ethereum is one more coin. Yeah, it is the second most important, but still follows Bitcoin because Bitcoin follows also the classical markets, right? So we'll see basically what happens here at this point. I have a mixed match opinion. We are on the daily. I mean, if we're talking about big movements, I think we just got the movement, right? Yes, it is not as big as everything or everybody else was expecting. I am expecting a little bit of a farther move, maybe to somewhere around 5 to 7K, somewhere around those areas. I still don't want to push on the FOMO, guys. This is only if we start breaking the range in where we are at this point. And let me be very clear in that range. This is the previous high, right? We are bouncing off it. And it seems like this is the second time that we try to push through without success in here. And remember that today we have an FOMC meeting. So is it going to be breaking out this time? I don't know. I just need to wait for it, right? So I'm going to be throwing here a trend line very quickly. and then just waiting for this breakout. If I see a bounce out of this line, I will say that yes, we absolutely could be piercing through. If not, if we lose this area, I think it's going to be maybe taking a little bit more structure here before we start coming back up and breaking that top area. So just be careful at this point. Money flow looks pretty good. I mean, looks fantastic. Let me make that bigger here for you guys to see. I mean, look at the influx, right, of that money flow. It's just being steady and high, right? The next thing that we need to do is just basically wait for these divergences to play it out, right? And then start making a higher high based on our previous high on the oscillator. Let me clear my charts a little bit just to avoid cluttering here. So just to wrap things up, I do see a possible double top. We need to wait before we take a decision, or at least I'm gonna be waiting before I taking a decision. We flip off right here from the money flow POC, just like Bitcoin. I think we have a very high chance to make that break through the upside and then launches somewhere around. I would say, let me just bring out my predictive ranges. Seems like they're a little bit low here, so let's change just the time frame in which I have them on. Predictive ranges. Let's go for daily. Let's click OK. Let's wait for them to update. And there's a little trick, guys. Whenever you have we are at the top of those predictive ranges, you can change the time frame to give you a little bit more slack or give you a higher volatility detection. So it seems like we are still in the same area. We can change. We can still change that. Let's try to go for a 5-day area here before. There we go. Much better. So yeah, I mean, it seems like we don't have a further calculation to the upside. I will need to play a little bit longer with that. But what it seems like, it is marking very, very nicely this range in where we are at this point. So still waiting for that possible bounce, which we have a high order block right down here. Just FOMC needs to work its magic. Turning it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that right now Ethereum is setting up pretty good. It's got some good support levels that we've broken through now, previous resistance, and I think it's leaning towards a little more bullishness. It has definitely been staying in lock and step with Bitcoin. So leading the way for the alt. So I'd like to see it stay strong. Shout out to Alexandra G. She dropped gifted a Piper Academy membership, giving somebody a chance to win that Billy Goat Tales Season 1 NFT complete series. That went to Remington Peralt. So congratulations to Remington Peralt. And then we also had a question from, I believe it was, who was it? It was Lasers. Oh, no, Lasers answered. French Toaster said, what time is the FOMO meeting, FOMC meeting, the FOMO meeting? I love it. Lasers told him 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's when the rates drop. That's when you'll know if they're raising, lowering, pausing, whatever, which I think they're going to cut. I think they're going to cut rates today. That's the time on that. The meeting, when you hear Jerome Powell start speaking, is 30 minutes later. That's going to be at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I just wanted to clarify that. Let's go ahead and go to start taking a look at some alts, OC. What alts are you watching right now? I know one that I'm definitely watching right now, and that is SWE. So I'm going to jump into that one first, and we'll talk about that, and then we'll come back to you. Just have your altcoin ready. What do you guys think? What do you guys want to see on the charts today? Let us know in the chat, and we'll get that up for you also. So SWE, here we go. Getting in here. Let's get on the chart. Let's jump. Let's go. So I'm watching here closely on SWE right now, guys. We are in between some golden pocket levels here, the phase 1, 1618, and these are extensions of the golden pocket. That's why down here is the original golden pocket. We got a bounce on that, broke up. Now we have moved into price discovery areas here. Phase 1 golden pocket right there. The phase 2 sitting right above us. So that's the 1.618 and the 2.618. What I'm watching here on this is some levels that we are doing, because we're creating higher lows and higher highs, and that creates good price structure on the chart. So let's go ahead and drop a couple of things here. I'm going to show you. One, we're going to go in and we're going to put in a fixed range volume profile. And we're just going to run it from right here at this point that we've started to get another high. We do have a value area low sitting all the way down here, or value area high, I mean below us, that is sitting all the way down here at $3.72. If we were by chance to come back down to that, that would still create higher lows. So that is the worst case scenario right now in my book. I am seeing a level right here. And you can see this volume node, that volume node giving us a little bit of a support range right there at about $4.23. SWE, in my opinion, still looking pretty decent right now on the 4-hour time period, despite what we're seeing on the oscillator. Oscillator does have a downward ribbon. We are starting to get some curvature, but volume looks good. Money flows in the green. Guys, this is telling us that things are not broken completely right now on the price action for this. And despite the pullback that we got, we did hold a little bit here. I think we're going to come back down and hitting this level right here at about 434. Why? Liquidity grab here, candle wick down there. We got a lot of support running over here. And if we bring this in, you'll see that is a gap right below us there. So that would come down right to there, start to hit this volume node from this gap of lack of volume. I think that would be a safe assumption to see happen. Plus, to top it off, we do have a fair value gap on the 4-hour here. Let me pull that up and I'll show you where that is at. You'll bring this in. This is how you do a fair value gap, guys. You can either turn on your Market Dynamics Pro and it will do it for you, or you can just come in here if you don't want to go into settings. Sometimes, it's just easier to do it on your own. You come over here, go to the candle close or open there of that wick to that candle close, and then just stretch it out. That's a fair value gap, and I think we could go down to that level and grab some of that as we're breaking this liquidity zone. Let's go in here and let's just see what we got. Oh yeah, look, check it out. Now that I've done that, we can start looking at what other indicators we have for confluence. We have the dynamic reactor coming into that zone, quantum reactor right below it. So depending on how long it takes, we could be seeing those as support areas. But let's go into here and let's throw on. I just want to see. Let's just check the accuracy here on good old Chart Prime. Let's throw on enable fair value gaps and let's see what it gives us. Because I guarantee you, there's one right here. Yep, there is right there. If I turn off mine, move it out of the way. Let's grab that. There you go. See, fair value gaps. But now you guys know how to build them on your own. If you have Chart Prime, they work extremely well, giving you that those levels. So that's where we are looking at a fair value gap there. I just deleted that off. That is the wrong one, sir. Thank you very much. So watch that area down there for that bounce. That's coming in at about $4.25. Down to about 414. But right now, SWE looking pretty strong. I do think we're about to flip back up there. And let's just throw in a 3D trend just to make sure. Yeah, look, guys, right there. That is your zone. If we come down to this zone right in here with the dynamic reactor, the 3D trend, and the fair value gap, that's why I would be looking to enter on a SWE. Let's go ahead and kick it over to OC and let's see what he's looking at. OC, what you got for us, bro?
So I'm looking at let me do a quick review here so you can see what am I skipping on structure here. I want to skip like every other coin in the market, absolutely. Like for example, Dash, right? Why? Because seems like a dead cat bounce. And if we take a look at where we are right now, we're piercing through or at the dynamic reactor. I think the wrong chart.
Still the wrong chart.
Yeah, there we go. I think we got the correct one. Same thing here. Look at that. I mean, I know this is a little busy. In fact, let me just clear this up for you guys. Let's just keep them. As you can see, we have the same movement, right? Coming down, making the dead cat bounce, and at the dynamic reactor, everything seems to have the same pattern. You see that copycat? Same freaking pattern everywhere except for Binance and some other ones. And those ones are AAVE and XRP and what was the other one? I think those are the ones that I was looking at. So going back to AAVE, let me just find it now. I think this is the one. Perfect. We are having a range, right? I think ranging is a great thing to see at this point. Why? Because despite we have seen a constant drop on the oscillator, right? We see the price action moving flat. That talks about a strength in the movement, right? So if we should have going down and we are holding, what should happen when we start moving up? we should be keep moving up with strength, right? So at this point, let's just take it for what it is. Let's not do right now a speculations. We're gonna be looking for some big support areas at this zone. Are we below the zero line? Absolutely, we are. We need to be careful about this, right? Because if we lose the 357, I mean, it's going to be a big fold all the way to 302, right? So there's a short opportunity at the breakout retest. Nonetheless, let's just wait for the FOMC meeting and see if we can pierce through back again on the oscillator through that zero line. And if we do, for me, that's going to be an entry right here. Let's see if I have anything else as for support. Well, I'm into a big volume outcome. This means that this is a ranging zone. And have we been ranging? Absolutely. We've been ranging and holding it. Let's see what else we got here. All right, perfect. We have predictive ranges. Let me also turn them on. Oh, come on. Here we go. We have a golden line of predictive ranges, and also we have a blue line of predictive ranges. Remember the same thing that I mentioned it before. This is an important zone, and we should not be losing it. If we go for the rest of the indicators, it seems to be a little bit either below or above. So we just need to wait for today and then prepare. What's going to be the game planning here? If we can break through the zero line, that's going to be a long for me all the way at the top, as cheap as I can go like that, and then just give it just tiny bit, a little bit of a wiggle room like that. Maybe I'll consider just going slightly below just to match this high right down here, just in case we have a pierce through, retest, then closes and switch it, and then open up a short and ride it all the way down somewhere around 315. But so far, I'm going to be aiming for a possible long as we don't lose the 360 area. So that's AAVE, and that's the one of the ones that I'm looking at.
Awesome. Let's jump back over here. Yeah, sorry about switching you off there, OC. I set my coffee cup down and hit my stream decks with it. So totally switching scenes there with the coffee cup. It's coffee. It's dangerous in the morning. I'm just saying. Coffee. Good. Let's take a look at Solana, guys. Let's take it and see what's going on here. Yesterday, we talked about this price action, and I said, guys, look, we are getting a nice little pump here, but we have a dynamic reactor running through right here. We also have this downward trend line auto printed by Chart Prime on here, and we have the 3D cloud that is a bearish cloud right now that we were coming into from underneath. I said we would have to break up above this, break this trend line, and prove it on the retest. Remember talking about the retest? Prove it as a retest to see if we have enough momentum off that bounce to get through the 887 top of the platinum pocket here. We got rejected off of it perfectly. Like we came above it and did not get a retest. That's textbook rejection. Down we go. Right now we're sitting back beneath the cloud. Here's what needs to happen, bullish and bearish scenario on Solana. Let's talk about that. On the bullish side of it, if we get some good news today, this line is getting much lower, and we're holding in this range right here for price, right? That means that we have a decent possibility of getting above this and holding it this time before we head up to 887. That would be where I would watch. Dynamic reactor would be there also in that same zone to give us that push, okay? If we get rejected or we start to get sell-off pressure today, guys, this level right here, $206. It is the 786. It's where we did our candle closes back here last week on December 10th. This is going to be the critical range to hold. Why? Well, because it was a massive support level back here. It proves support here. And if we lose this area, because we have gotten below the point of control for this entire fixed range volume profile, you'll see there's a small node right here. There's a small node right here. But value area low is all the way down at about $180, and that is where we could head if we got a rejection off that 786. So, guys, if we get a rejection on a retest off the 786 after breaking it, likely heading down to the value area low, you can use these volume nodes as a couple of take profits along the way. That's the bearish scenario that I'm watching. Bullish scenario on this, let me clean up the Mexican spaghetti, give it a little reset here, and we'll talk about what I would set up on the bullish side of this. Looking at the bullish scenario, I would be watching for us to break the trend line, get a retest. Might do a partial entry there, okay? Like ladder in, guys, DCA entries. And then do your second one on a retest of the 887. If you get a rejection on the 887, you might want to take your profit and wait and see if it does come back up and then enter in again on that retest of the 887. But remember, you've got a quantum reactor here that's still going to be resistance and the point of control we would need to get through. That's why I'm saying you might want to do like a part 1, part 2, and then part 3 on this. And then you've got a 3-part entry with your average price being about that platinum pocket on the pullback. And you set your stop loss down there after all 3 entries are in. That is the best case scenario that I could see for Solana right now, based on this bearish 3D trend that it's getting and its rejection from key areas over and over and over again, just like we thought we would have yesterday morning and talked about it here on the live stream. So there's your Solana TA. Let's go talk about this. Let me bring it up here first. Give me 1 second. We'll bring it up here. I want to talk about, I'm on another show today, guys. So if you guys are not tracking, I'm going to be on today with Dylan from Crypto Banter. Let me jump over here and I'll show you guys. If you guys don't know, it's Banter Plus, Crypto Banter Plus, and it's down here in the live streams. Where is it at? Right there, Dylan's Trading Show, guys. This is the show I'm going to be on. It's going to be at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be a guest on there. We're going to be doing some trade call-outs and stuff. So honored to be on a show that has 18,000 plus views. There's already 13 people waiting for this one. So let me go ahead and copy this link, and I'll drop this in the chat right now for you guys. This is going to be where I'm at today at 11:30. So please come over there, drop some graduation caps and let them know that Piper Academy is in the house. I would appreciate that from everybody. You guys rock. But yeah, FOMC danger, how I'm trading, the volatility, and I'm going to be a special guest on there. So looking forward to it. OC, let's kick it back over and see what you're watching for altcoins. Solana looking pretty weak. Are you seeing anything in the alt world that's just there screaming, let's rock it from here? All we need is Bitcoin to give the word. What are you seeing on the charts for that?
Well, that was one of the ones. AAVE was one of the ones that kind of like looked like it because it was in a range. Another one that is kind of like pushing upwards. It is XRP, right? It's true that we have a reversal here, but it's a reversal after a breakout out of a resistance, right? So this is telling me that this is not, or at least theoretically, this should not be a reversal of the trend. It's just a breakout retest, and then off we go. Other than that, let's take a look at how is our zero line holding here. Let me just double click here, remember, so I can do a zero. And we are above the zero line. That is very, very good. Something important that I'll be waiting for, as with everything else, it is the flip of the ribbon. So if we can survive today's call of FOMC and Bitcoin not plummeting down, I think this is going to be an amazing entry somewhere around these areas, or even just visiting the lower area of this range. Let's throw in here my support and resistances. Let me clear up everything else also. And as you can see, we are right there on a trend line. Could this be just a fake out? That will depend on today's volatility. But if not, we maybe could be looking at this area of support before continuing upwards here. Is it going to be a breakout retest and off we go? That remains to be seen. But I believe that if we nail it here, we're going to have some structure like this. And then this trend line that we have automated plotted here is going to be updating to the new low that could be forming here. So will be something like that. Therefore, having a restructure on this lower peak right down here, if that is the case, right? I mean, I'm trying to move ahead of the market 3 or 4 steps ahead, right? Other than that, I think XRP looks good if we can hold this area. Other thing that I was also looking at, which I'm not that sure if I want to trade this, it's kind of like a calling my attention, but I don't know. Let me see if I can find it here. It was OM. So we're OM. There it is, OM. So OM here is basically also making a major range. Dynamic reactor has caught up to it. So that's pretty cool. We have not even seen that same reaction on OM as we have seen on Ethereum or Bitcoin or anything like that. So this talks about strength. If we throw here our zero line, let's do it really quick. We should be above, way above. There we go. Yes, we are above the zero line. We already have our entry, which should have been here. So I'd say that we could be having a secondary chance to a possible entry here, as long as we don't have a major dump. But this is another coin that I don't know if I'm gonna be trading it. I still need to see that decisive flick, and that flickering will be just going above this line in here. Why? And this is around a 73% movement on the oscillator, because every single time that we have peaked there, look at that, we have had a reversal. Next time that we have peaked there, we have had a reversal. Next time that we have peaked here, we have a reversal. So if we can maybe just have a little bit of a reversal and then hold this area here, I think that's going to be my next entry for a very nice push to the upside, at least 454. So just retracing, bouncing off the zero line and not losing the 385 zone. Other than that, that's what I got on OM.
Awesome. Let's go check out the chat here. Oh, wow. Piper has coffee. Always have coffee, man. Shout out to Trade Intuition in the chat right now. Crypto Coin Mindset said, gotta go. Have a great day, everyone. You too, brother. Thanks for joining us today. Laser. Yeah, always got my coffee, bro. Bullish on Parade. That's what, at Bullish on Parade. Hand wave. Okay. Sorry, I'm catching up on the chat here. I missed a lot over here, guys. So Algo on and ADA looking, Algo and ADA looking, I think he's saying there, for Bitcoin to move before the next leg up. I agree, Crypto Chef. That's what everything's doing right now. It's all just watching Bitcoin to see what happens today, and Bitcoin's waiting to see what Jerome Powell has to say. So I can't believe XRP is $2.47. What? Oh, XRP. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. I'm with you. Holy crap, man. Like everything, you guys chatted a lot while I was gone. Okay. Yeah, that's what we got there. Guys, you guys have any other requests that you want to see for some charts here, for some TA? Because I think we're about it. I was trying to find a redirect. It looks like Randy Hipper's not live today, so we won't be able to redirect to her, and Coons is not live today, so looks like we're no redirect. But shout out to Ben Red in the chat with us right now. One thing that I'm watching, I got one more for you before we go here, and then OC, if you have one, let me know. I'm watching closely right now on Dog. Let's go check out Dog. If you guys don't know what Dog is, it is a meme coin built on Bitcoin. So let's go take a look at this chart and talk about it, because we got a couple of conflicting things here. One, we did break an upward trend line, okay? And typically that is a bearish move. But I want to show you guys what we did here. Turn off the 3D trend. We're getting all of our support right now on the dynamic reactor. We have an uptrend. Our power bar has burned out and said, look, that's why there's peach in there. Look, the downtrend's probably done. That's what that says. We are clipping here. If we did get another move down from this, guys, while we're doing this continuation of these multi hidden bearish divergences here, that would give us another bearish divergence coming in on this. I don't think that we're going to get that, but it is very possible, guys, that we could hold in this range while this continues to come down, gives us one more bearish divergence coming in right after the clipping, and that would be a move. However, sitting where we are right now and holding inside of our green 3D trend cloud on that dynamic reactor, I do think that we get another come up here to the trend line. Question is do we reject off of this and get a retest of that for confirmation of bearishness, or do we get a breakthrough on it? Right now, it's giving some very mixed messages, being that we've got support from the dynamic reactor into 3D cloud with all of the oscillator firing off. Money flow does look like it's starting to come back up, or is that just enough to fake people out and get that retest to come down? You guys need to keep an eye on this, because Dog does tend to move very quickly when it does move. And you can catch some good moves when you're sitting at levels right now, like we're seeing. Just for example, this one here, when we got this bounce off the line here to that top move, that move, guys, was a 36% move to the upside. So keep an eye on where we are right now. If this does break down and we do get another continuation of this hidden bearish divergence here firing off, that price level could be down here on the quantum reactor, which is still green, by the way, on the 4 hour. It's a very bullish setup, but it would be in line with the bottom of the 3D trend in that quantum reactor when this all fires off for the Alex O strategy of clipping on the True 7 followed by another divergence. So just keep an eye on it. I just wanted to talk about dog for a second. It looks pretty interesting on the chart. Let's go over to OC, see if you got anything else. And if you do, then we'll go there. If you don't, we'll head out. What do you got, OC? You got another chart?
Yeah, this is a mixed match one. This is Caspa. Caspa, not really looking to. I mean, this is gonna be, yeah, kind of, but just measuring the dropping here. So, I mean, I know this looks like a very bad idea, right? But if we start looking at those drops in here, they're pretty much consistent, right? I know I'm skipping this huge week, but I'm trying to get the average movements, right? And they're pretty consistent. So if I start measuring that right now, we are basically at the consistency level, right? So how low could I go? Well, I'm pretty low already on my oscillator here. I could also be dropping, let's just for reference, do the zero lining here very quick. Once again, zero. I'm pretty far down to it, right? Something interesting is the money flow is just pretty flat, right? So if we're pretty flat on money flow and we don't have a very dramatic outflow like this, I would say that we could be looking at a possible opportunity for a bounce. All right. So we'll see. Like, for example, let me start dropping here a couple of things. There we go. And as you can see also, we are on this area of support. So I'll just be maybe just waiting, like waiting to see the reversal. What am I going to be looking for? It is, as always, flip of the ribbon. Maybe aiming at this point right here. Let me, you know what? This is pretty cricket. There we go. Maybe aiming at this area down here. Let's see, 0.12 for a possibility or for a possible entry here, and then ride it all the way up here to this next area. Still, this is a pretty, let's just say, dangerous move. But if we can do that, we could be creating here a higher low, right? And that could be, we could be catching one of these movements, right? Where we can profit very nicely out of that one. So basically 34% movement to the upside if everything plays out great. So that will be first 26. And then, of course, the rest of the movement 42 or something like that. So just looking for that possibility. What I'm going to be doing is adding my alert. And if that alert gets hit, I'll reconsider entering here at Caspa. Other than that, turning it back to you, Piper.
Let's jump in here and let's take a look at Moonwell. We had one last request for this that just came in. This is for Piper in the beginning numbers he was talking about. I don't know what you're referencing there, but all right, let's go look at the chart. Sorry, I missed some stuff in the chat, guys. Looking here right now at Moonwell, we are getting another rejection off a trend line here, moving down. We lost the one-to-one line. This is previous areas back here that we were watching for the fibs on this from this previous high back in March of 2024 to its bottom here in August of 2024. And it had quite a big rally there. Matter of fact, the levels that we had put out to the community back then was golden pocket. You can see we did almost a perfect bounce there on that golden pocket before another leg up. So there's the levels that you're seeing right now in that one-to-one that we are now breaking beneath. However, what I'm watching on here right now is the break of this dynamic reactor that we have. You can see over here in the top right. Right now on the 5-minute, 15-minute, and 1 hour, we are below the dynamic reactor, and we have a negative. I won't call it a bearish, but it's a neutral quantum multi-time frame quantum reactor and reversal. So it's not looking too strong here. 4 hour is going to be the savior if this thing does flip around. But losing this dynamic reactor on that one-to-one, guys, I have to say that we're probably going to head down to the platinum pocket. That's where your quantum reactor is also at. Those are coming in at about 7.2 to 6.5 cents. throwing a fixed range volume profile. You'll also see right there in line with that is our point of control from this entire price action history here, with the value area low sitting right below that. So point of control is the dash red line. Purple line is your value area low. So that's coming in there. Another thing that's bothering me with all of this is we are at the bottom of the 3D trend. This could be your saving grace here, but if we lose this, then we will flip back into another bearish one. And typically when that happens, we do have a little bit of downside moves. So keep an eye on that right now. One last thing that I can do for you here on this, just to see what we're looking at. Let me turn that off. Let me isolate this over. Let me turn off those fibs, and let's just get a clean chart going here. And let's just go throw some anchored VWAPs on here and see how they're looking with that data. Let's put one down here. That's the first point. You can see we have lost that upper band there. Let me make that a series 1. So that's going to go to a long. There we go. So yeah, we did lose that 0.1. We do have right there 7.1 cents. Again, if we put that on, that's going to be close in line with what we're seeing for that platinum pocket. Where's those fibs? Yeah, platinum pocket. So there is your anchored VWAP coming in at that level. That's one. Let's go throw another one on here. It's going to be at your second point. Let's see how it's playing out. You're going to be number 2. Anchored VWAP 2, a little bit of different color change there. We've lost the VWAP on that, which means we're coming in right there with the bottom side of that band on the anchored VWAP, coming in right there with the series 1 VWAP. So series 1 pulled from here, series 2 pulled from here. And let's just go throw one more on here and see how that's looking. We've completely lost that whole VWAP for an anchor 3. So I would be watching between 0.65 to 0.72 here, based on what I'm seeing on this chart, bro. Let's jump back over here, OC. Thanks for joining me here on the scene today, man. I appreciate you as always. We are at the bottom of the hour. But guys, if you have not done so yet, smash that like button. Share this out with a friend, because growing this thing for all of these shows that we bring, 5 shows a day. I pay all these guys out, and how do we pay for it? With this whole show growing. So please share this out with a friend. Sharing is caring, guys. Don't forget, tune in at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I dropped that link already in the thing. Let me go see if I can grab one more link of that. It may still be in my setup here. Let's go. Let's see. Is it? Yes, there it is. Make sure you guys join me over there at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This morning, I'm going to be on there live with Dylan on Crypto Banter. I'm honored to be there, and I wish you guys to be there to throw the graduation cast. I appreciate you all. And then tune in 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Trade Academy right here with Trade Intuition. And of course, the entire lineup. We got Crypto Nightcaps coming still today, Markets After Dark. And then back tomorrow morning, all over again. Guest Billy Goat Tells is going to be right here. Crypto Billy going to be joining us on here at the morning market report. And then, of course, pre-market, guys, check out BC Port Corp at the 5 a.m. on the East Coast, I believe it is. 7 a.m. 7 a.m. on the East Coast, 5 a.m. my time. That's what it is. Right here on the show, guys. We will catch you tomorrow morning right back here. Hopefully, we don't get shaken out hard today, but we will be watching. Hold on. Earlier in the show, Piper was explaining that he thought the people were waiting to get permits because they were waiting for... Oh, yeah. True. Very true. That's it. All right, guys, we're going to be back here tomorrow morning. A squirrel. No more squirrels here on the screen. We're going to be back here tomorrow morning. We'll catch you then, guys. Trade safe. And as always, please use some risk management. Later, guys.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels flow low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Car Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels flow low. Sound off. To get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Alexandra. That was awesome, dude.